You're in for a real treat.
If we can dream it, then we can do it. Yes, we can, yes, we can.
Hang on to them hats and glasses, 'cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hey Disney fans, come join the fun. Corey and Lawrence, the magic's begun. From the parks to the stories we adore, let's dive into the magic. There's so much more. It's the DizPod, where dreams come true. With Corey and Lawrence, we'll explore with you. We entertain and teach every step of the way. With stories and facts, we brighten your day. From Disney history to tips and tricks, we've got the magic mix that always clicks. It's the DizPod, where dreams come true. With Corey and Lawrence, we'll explore with you. Feel the magic, the joy and the cheer. Together we'll make memories year after year. The DizPod, the DizPod, let's all sing along. With Corey and Lawrence, the magic's never gone. Bringing joy to your day in every way. In the DizPod, where the magic's here to stay.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney.
Hello, welcome in everyone. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me well out there. Thank you all for joining in today. We have a great episode. We're going to be talking to Cyan Nardiello from Once Upon a Nanny to find out about her company and what they do and how you might be able to utilize them when you're in the parks. I know when I heard about it, my wheels started turning. I was like, yeah, I might be able to use a service like that sometimes. So we'll talk all about that today. Corey will be joining us in just a few minutes. But welcome into all of you. Let me see who we have out there. Good to see all of you coming in. Thank you all for joining. Today was the first day of Guardians and Tiana's not being on virtual queue. It was a lot slower than I thought, or wait times were a lot lower than I thought. I thought we would see about 3 hours. At one point, it did peak at about 175 minutes, but for the most part, it's been about 65 minutes. So not too bad. That's for Guardians, and Tiana's has been lower than that. So we'll see. You know, it's a slower day at the park. Today was the last day of Festival of the Arts. So Flower and Garden is starting to ramp up. The menu came out today, so we should start to see a lot of information about what Flower and Garden is going to have to offer us for 2025. And we've got our show about Flower and Garden. We have a preview and then a recap show coming up about Flower and Garden pretty soon. So we'll be talking all about that. So I'm not going to waste any more time. Let me bring in our guest, Cyan, here. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us tonight. And we had planned to have you on a couple weeks back, but I think you were still traveling, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I had just got off a Disney cruise and then I
Oh.
just came back from Disneyland last week. So
Oh boy. Okay. So cruise and Disneyland, and obviously you live here. You live in Florida.
yes.
So have you been to international parks?
I have. I went with one of the families that booked through my company, which we'll talk about in a bit. They were going to Tokyo, Japan to go see Tokyo Disney and other parts of Japan. And so I've been to the Tokyo park as well.
Wow. Wow. Very jelly. Very jelly. So what did you think about that park when you went to see it?
It was really, really cool. It was very different. I was apprehensive at first on how the experience would be when I wasn't experiencing, you know, like park goers or cast members who like spoke the same language as me. I was a little nervous about like getting, possible needs across or questions answered, but they
Mm.
were so well rounded with that. It was nice because at guest relations, they have people who speak multiple different languages to help. So whenever if a cast member couldn't help me directly, they would just pull someone from guest relations. And then
Oh,
obviously like the park was amazing. The Beauty and the Beast ride was it's my favorite Disney ride ever, like in any park. So it was
yeah.
great.
We have shown that on our show, on our live stream. We do a post show and we show rides from other parks. And that was one of the first ones we showed. And that is just amazing. I'm very jealous that they have that ride and we don't.
Yes, they're lucky.
Very, very lucky. So tell us a little bit about you, and your love of Disney, and then why you started Once Upon a Nanny.
Sure. So my name is Cyan again. I am 26 years old. I've been living in Orlando for about 7 years at this point. I'm originally from New Jersey, and my parents took me on my first Disney vacation when I was 13. I was a little older. Mom said she did not want to deal with traveling with a stroller, it was not going to happen. So we waited till we were older and could really cherish it like in the moment. And I became absolutely obsessed. I loved all the rides, the food and the experiences. But my favorite part about it was just truly that obviously magical feeling and how wonderful the cast members were. It just made it a very notable trip for me ever since my first trip. And
Mm,
then we took a couple trips in between. And then when it was time to search for college, I just typed in closest college to Walt Disney World. And then the University of Central Florida popped up. And I just knew, like, okay, I have to go there. So I did. And I moved to Florida, to Orlando to go to UCF. And I had got an annual pass. And I thought I was living my best life
mm,
until there's a little girl that I was babysitting, and she also had an annual pass, but her mom didn't have much time to take her. She was busy providing for the family. So I was like, I have a Disney pass and I know this is so crazy, so you can totally say no, but can I like take her one day like after school? And she was like, absolutely, like, we can't really like take her that well. And I was like, perfect. So I took her and then I recorded it on TikTok. It was the first TikTok video I had ever posted. And I just
mm,
posted a day in a life as a nanny, and like everyone just loved the fact that we went to Disney and that I was like able to help her with again on all the rides, and just that we had a good time. And a lot of people haven't really seen the dynamic of a nanny taking a child. Obviously it's usually a parent,
hmm
so people just grabbed onto it and it blew up. It was my first TikTok ever and it blew up like crazy. I had hundreds of parents telling me, "Oh, I'm going in April. I'm going in June. I need help. I need help." And so I didn't even realize that there was, a hole in the whole travel world with childcare. Obviously vacations are, for families, or they could just be for mom and dad, but at the end of the day, like parents and families still need help and support. It takes a village. And
hmm
so I quickly caught on that this could be very helpful to a ton of families. And then I started the business from there.
Wow. Wow. A single TikTok video leads to an entire business. I love that. How has it
Yes.
been? I mean, you said you're 26. We
Mhm.
we we won't say you're almost half my age. How has it been starting a business that young?
It was really honestly just fun. I wasn't too nervous about I went for a psychology degree and I
Mhm,
started the business in my senior year of college. And it just blew up so immensely, but I had so much support from my family and friends, which came in handy because I ended up gaining a lot of clients that I couldn't be out if there was two clients that wanted 3 p.m., I can't be two places at once. So I was able to also hire my friends who I knew were babysitters through that. And then that's how we have a lot of the people that we do have now. So it was really good to be like in college. I was in a sorority, so I had a plethora of women who were, driven and
Hmm.
safe and who were also babysitters themselves to help out. And then as I've grown, even though I didn't go for a business degree, I feel like I indirectly have earned one because I
Yeah.
just had to figure it out all by myself. And it's been great.
Awesome. Wow. Um, Let me bring in Corey here to join the conversation. There we go. Good to see you, Corey.
Hello. Hi, Cyan. Great to meet you. I've
Hi.
been listening the entire time, so I'm all caught up. I'm totally impressed. 26 years old. That's amazing. You've got a degree and you got your own business going. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So,
Uh,
what type of services does your company offer? Because you mentioned being in the parks and watching them, or you mentioned taking her to the park, which is how it started. But what services do you offer?
So we offer both theme park and resort childcare services. For theme park, we have two options. The first one is helping hands. And this is where a nanny comes to the park and meets the family at the park. And we help with whatever they need, as well as stay with the family for the duration of the time. So
Hmm.
a lot of people who book this service have multiple children and different height requirements. Susie is 9 years old and she can ride everything, but little Bob is 3 and he can only write a handful of things. We would take Bob to go do the things he could do while parents get one on one time with Susie that I'm sure they hadn't had in 3 years,
Yeah. Yeah.
and take her to go and do those bigger rides or vice versa. Sometimes parents with bad motion sickness that can't do those big rides. So hiring us, their children don't have to miss out. It's great for mothers who are pregnant, lone traveling parents who just need an extra set of eyes and hands. In the park, we push the stroller, we help navigate a little bit, just because we've been to the park so many times. We know where a lot of things are. We can help with grabbing mobile orders, helping with bathroom breaks. We can ride with your family, we can stay back. Really, anything that the families need help with, we do. And then we have parent play, which is also theme park care. And then this is where mom and dad get to have a little time in the parks to themselves. So we will take the kids to go do things they want to do while mom and dad are also in the park. They're just doing their own thing, whether that's enjoying flower and garden or that's riding guardians 5 times over that the 2 year olds can't do. We're there to help out. And then we offer our third service is hotel hangout, and that's where we come to your resort. We'll take the kids to do any activities they have around the resort, usually like the campfires that the resorts provide, the pool, walking the resort grounds, which is really fun to do at resorts such as like All Star Movies or Art of Animation.
Hmm.
And then we'll do bedtime prep, and then we'll put the kids to bed. So by the time mom their date night, all they have to do themselves is go to bed.
So that's one thing that I thought about. Where we might be able to use that because we are, we're a family of three for the most part, and our daughter is 6. And while she is a great park buddy for me and Catherine, there are times when it would be nice for Catherine and I to just, you know, go out to a nice dinner or be able to ride Guardians together rather than doing rider swap, which rider swap is there and that's great, but to be able to
Mhm.
ride it together is really cool. Um, what service would you say gets utilized the most?
I would say hotel hangout is one of the most used services. I think that a lot of parents find it really helpful for their trip to have a break in between.
Mm,
So like usually around like half their trip, or some people even book every night of their trip. It just helps them wind down because though Disney is fun, We can't sit here and lie and say that, oh, it's the most non-stressful thing ever. It gets tough sometimes.
Yeah.
So parents, they get to wind down, and from the feedback I've heard, it just seems like it makes the overall vacation better because the parents are able to have their own time, which they a lot of them say they don't even get at home. So this is like a lot of the times where they are like, we haven't had a date night in 2 years, a year. Like, thank you so much for like providing this for us. And it's really special, especially on vacation.
Mm, wow. Um, what are some of the challenges of that business, and especially having such a young? So when did you start it?
I started it in October of 2020. And at the time, I was 21 years old.
Wow. Corey, what were you doing at 21?
Wow, 21, 21, 21, 21. Hold on, let me think. I think I was in college still. I was in college still. Yeah, planning, getting ready for my career. That's what I was doing. How about you at 21?
um, Probably working some retail job. Might have been at Service Merchandise, if any of you remember that. Cyan probably does not remember that because they closed in 2001. But wow, that's amazing to have started a company that young. Um,
Thank you.
so October of 2020. So the parks had just opened or reopened. Was that a did that fuel the start of the business?
I definitely think it played a good part because, all Disney lovers, the second the park opened, and whenever people also felt for themselves that it was safe, everyone started to come again. People hadn't gone in a year or a year and a half, and everyone was ready to experience the magic again. So I definitely think that that slow burn of, slowly getting all the park goers back into the parks with the parameters that they had set in place was like a big factor in our success. And then also to bring up a challenge in the beginning, keeping masks on like 3 year olds to 6 year olds that's probably been the biggest challenge ever in the whole business.
I I know it well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
know,
And
I'd
just
see little
explain.
ones in the parks.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd see little ones in the parks, and I thought the same thing. I was like, "Wow, this is gonna be the kids have no idea what's going on." It has to be such a challenge to, have them adhere to that, and, I don't know how the cast members treated that, but, I got caught multiple times because you get confused, right? Sometimes you're confused. You're outside, and you can have them at some point, you could be outside without your mask on, but it had to be on indoors. So I'm live streaming, I'm talking to people, and as I'm crossing the threshold to go into World of Disney or something, and it's, excuse me, sir, put your mask on. I'm like, yeah, I know. And you throw it back on, So lots of challenges with
Mhm.
that.
Well, and it also
Yeah.
changed along the way as well.
Yes, it did. And so I think that's also been another challenge is constantly having to keep up with everything that Disney has changed since then, down to when they added park reservations, when they had the mask parameters and then the 6 feet to not having that. But then, and all the changes with Lightning Lane that I feel like they change every 3 months and then I have to like relearn. So that's definitely also have been a challenge, but nothing we can't overcome. And I feel like we adapt very well to what's going on. We very much respect Disney and their parks and their rules and guidelines, and we're always happy to comply and cooperate. So we just go with the flow.
And how big is your company now? How many nannies do you have?
I have a total of 56 nannies. I have about, I would say 49, 48 in Orlando. And then we have it in California as well for Disneyland. We have about like 7 or 8 there.
I swore you were gonna
Girlfriend,
say
I thought you
like
were gonna say
8.
7 or 8 here. Wow. She continues to impress. Wow.
Wow. That I mean
Yes,
that's
it's
a
so much fun.
I mean you have a business degree, so that's great, but I mean that is amazing Great
Thank
job.
you.
Wow.
Thanks.
Um,
The a lot of like Facebook groups, like people just recommend us. Word of mouth has genuinely, and I'm so grateful for, has been our strongest like marketing point.
hmm
I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I only hire people who would do the exact same work as me. And when we're with these families, we're not, we don't feel like a nanny. We feel like an older sister to them, an older brother. We feel like a family member, like a mom, like mom's sister. We feel like aunts. We don't want someone to feel like we're just a tag along. We're truly there to help, and I feel like the best way to help is to encompass like within that family's vacation.
and do you get repeat business because it feels that way?
Yes, yes. We have so many clients. People have booked well over 20 times. I would say like our return rate is pretty strong. I would say most people who book do book again, whether it be frequent goers who go multiple times a year or someone who goes like every 2 or 3 years. A lot of people that we have on the schedule weekly are people that we've had before. So it's really, really fun. I have a family, I've been doing them since 2020, and the
hmm
children were 6 months old and now they're almost 5. So it's so special to watch them grow, and then
Yeah.
to grow in such a special setting. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Here's an interesting question. Doreen says, Cyan, I've witnessed many tantrums from the little ones in the parks. How do you deal with the tantrums?
That is a good question. That's one we get a lot. Um, I don't know other people's parenting styles, and I'm not a parent myself. I just know what I've learned through experience is communication truly is key. Whether they are 1 years old or they're 5 years old or 7 years old having a meltdown, um, we talk about it. We don't discipline. I don't feel like obviously it's our place to discipline someone else's child.
hmm
And I don't really believe that discipline works, especially just in those short bursts of tantrums. um it's communication. So if they are upset because they can't ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train with their two older, like their brother and sister, I take them back and I validate their feelings. I say, I would have loved to have rode that with brother and sister too. Like, don't get me wrong. And then I'll redirect them. But hey, how about we go do Dumbo? See, they can't do Dumbo because they're going on that ride. But Dumbo's
Ah,
really fun. Let's go
there
do
you go.
that.
All right.
So just a lot of redirection and emotional understanding. I teach my fairy god nannies, that's what we call our babysitters.
hmm
I teach them to lead with patience and understanding, because children have a hard time when they're not in routine, and then they also have a hard time when they're in a new place. And I think even as adults, like even when we travel and we know it's fun, there's always like that just teeny air of anxiety in your stomach because it's different. And so I can't imagine what that feels like for a child, even if they are in a fun place. So just patience and understanding, like, will get you so far, I promise.
So, you have obviously a lot of fairy god nannies here in the Orlando parks. You said you have a few in California. Um, do you also do the cruise lines?
Yes, we can also go on any trip that anyone has wanted. Um, I don't know if we were live when I told you, but like I had went to Tokyo, Japan with a family that had used me in Orlando before. And we did go to Tokyo Disney, but it wasn't just like a Disney trip. We
hmm
went to Asakusa and Shinjuku and Harajuku. um we can go anywhere. We've had families, they book, they want to go to like the local outlets in the malls, so like we'll just help them at the outlet in the mall. We have done the cruises before. We've done Disney and Royal Caribbean. We can do like literally anything anyone needs.
Wow, I love that. I love that.
So how does
Uh,
that work? If we want to go on a cruise and we have little ones, we're going, on the Treasure, and we want to bring you on board. Do we have to pay for your accommodations for that? I would imagine so, because that would be a big loss for you guys to have to do that. And does that also translate the same way to the parks with like a Premier Lightning Lane and things like that? What does the family have to
Mhm.
do on their part?
Yeah, so for going to the theme parks, for Disney and Universal theme parks in both Orlando and California, we provide the admission, so parents do not pay the ticket. They're just paying the hourly rate. That's all they're responsible for. And then if they want to do like SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, anything like that, they would then pay the ticket because we don't have access into there. Um, or like Six Flags or anything. And then for the cruises, you
Mhm.
pay your babysitter's stateroom and then as well as the hourly rate.
Okay, so the parks are a little easier, right? I would guess that you and all your
Yeah.
employees have annual passes, so it's very easy to take care of.
Yeah, we provide our own park admission, so we just go in there and oh, if you do like Mickey's Not So Scary or Very Merry Christmas Party after hours events, the parent also does need to pay for the tickets for those, but general admission, we got that covered.
Okay. Do your employees pay for that on their own, or do you take care of that?
The employees pay for it on their own just because they would like they can they've number one, they've already had their admission because they love Disney. I also hire people who, who obviously love the environment and can revel in that with the families. So
Sure.
they've already have had it in the past and they go all the time even when they're not working because they just love it so much. So they have their own set that they're responsible for. But then, again, any of those after hour tickets or special events or other parks is for provided by the families.
Is there anything by the prospective states that regulations you have to go by? Like, I imagine your people have to be like vetted and things like that to make the families feel comfortable, and probably like a state regulation kind of thing as well, right?
Yes. So all nannies are background checked for criminal and SA, as well as reference checked and CPR first aid certifications. Additionally, we do have some nannies who, a lot of my girls are in college and then they graduate, they go to grad school. So we have a lot of ABAs and SLPs because we do care for special needs children as well. Um, or children with like different medical conditions. We have people with experience with like diabetics, quadriplegics or paraplegics. We have a well-rounded team to pretty much help any family that comes our way. We don't want to turn someone away just because we don't have the experience. So I've really tried to hire everyone with like a lot of experience around the board.
That's great.
So
Thank you.
another question came in. Do you find that more of your clients are local to Florida or out of states?
Most are out of state for sure. And then even a lot of out the country. I would say 40% of who we get are people from like the United Kingdom or Australia, people who like take those longer vacations. And then
Hmm.
most are out of state. We also do provide local childcare. So this could be someone with the address in Orlando and they just want like regular babysitting. We offer that at a reduced rate because like we're right here and it's so easy. And we also do pets and weddings. We do like everything.
I wouldn't have thought about pets. Okay, so that's another branch. Wow. Um,
Yes.
and what is next for you and Once Upon a Nanny?
What is next for us is just to keep building and helping parents and families and trying to help. I'm always constantly having to hire because the demand is there for sure. And I know how beneficial it is because these parents come back and they tell me, they say, we would never like go to the parks without a service like this again. Or like I said before, we haven't had a date night in years. So I would just like to expand so that we can help the best number of people, maybe hopefully get some nannies for like Disneyland Paris. I've had requests for Alani before. So branching out to other areas. We're really excited for Epic Universe to open. We'll definitely be helping there. And yeah, we're so excited for the future.
Wow.
I think I'm going to sign up to be a nanny, Lawrence, for Alani. I'll be the Alani
Yeah,
guy
The
you could
Alani.
be a
out
There you
there.
fairy
go.
godmother.
Yes.
Yeah, he would love to do that. I could do Hilton Head. Hilton Head's not that far from me. I'm not that far.
See, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Vero Beach,
Vero
anything,
Beach. There you
anything.
go. And so tell me kind of some of the stories that some of the parents have, especially like first timers, like after they've used your services. What are they saying?
I would say the number one feedback that we get is that the nannies are very, very professional and timely, and I really stress that on them because I I don't have children, but I know I would be extremely apprehensive to leave them with. In essence, it is a stranger. We've never seen them before. They have never seen us before. Though we are vetted, and I know I send out completely trustworthy people, though I know nothing would happen, they don't know that.
Sure.
So for us to maintain professionality and like timeliness, just to even gain the trust, it starts from there. The trust starts with me and when I book them, and then that has to carry on throughout. So I just think that because the women that I've hired are so amazing, that it really creates a great experience. When parents are out and they're not directly with the nanny, or even when they go on a ride, we send photo and text updates so they know what's going on about every 30 minutes to an hour. Even
Ooh,
even if the kid's sleeping the whole time, I'll be like, Johnny's still sleeping. Then an hour later, sorry to bother you, Johnny's still sleeping. Just because I think that we offer a great deal of reassurance, and I feel like as a parent, that goes a super long way.
absolutely. Yeah, if I was utilizing a service like that, I think that would make me certainly feel more at ease. Pamela wants to know, is the service 7 days a week?
Yep, it's 7 days a week, 365. We operate 24 hours a day. So that's really good. We just had a lot of clients for the princess race that happened this past weekend. So we can come at 3 a.m. if your child is not up or you have no one to watch your child while you run. We got
Mhm.
that. We operate Christmas, Thanksgiving, every single day.
Wow. Parks open,
You
you
ever get
guys are
spe-
there.
Yep. And people need
you
help.
ever get special requests? You ever get special requests like, okay, you're gonna have Johnny for half a day. Can you please make sure he gets on, Mine Train, Pirates, and Haunted because those are his favorites. Like, do you get special requests and things like that? Kind of direction.
Oh, yes, absolutely. One time we had a kid, and the mom is like, I am not kidding when I say that they want to ride Everest 10 times in a row. And she's like, I will get sick. I can't do it. And we had Miss Marissa went, and she went 10 times in a row with a smile on her face each time. I don't know if her stomach was smiling, but she provided a good experience to them. So that's all that matters for me.
Oh, give Miss
Wow.
Marissa a
Yeah.
raise.
Yes.
So you mentioned how many employees you have, and in different states too. What about benefits for them? Are they set up like a 1099 employee, or are they W-2 employees?
They're 1099 independent contractors.
Hmm.
It's really are working for us is very, very flexible because they pick whenever they want to work. So I don't tell anyone you have to work a set hours. You can work 40 hours every week. You can work 4 hours every 4 months. Just whenever like they can do it is when they do it. So they pick up the work, they pick up the method and mode of work. So if they don't really like going to Epcot, they don't have to pick up Epcot shifts. If they only like doing hotels, that's all that they can pick up. And that's why we have such a broad range in number of people because people also have different niches and things. I
Hmm.
have girls that really love working with infants, and some are newborn care specialists, so they love doing the infants. So they all get to pick and get set up with that. We pay them a good wage, way more than the average for a babysitter in Florida, because I believe that in order to get qualified people, you have to give them qualified and quality pay.
Hmm.
And they get tips from the parents. They're allowed to accept tips. And I think I'm a very laid back and chill boss, especially because a lot of those girls are around or near my age. Like they just all feel like friends to me almost. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun around here.
And are most of
Sounds
them full time or part time?
I would
If
say
you
most are
qualified it that
part.
way.
Yeah, I would say most are part time. I do have a lot of girls that work consistently every single week, but then some girls, a lot of girls have other jobs or other engagements. They're still in school.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm very lucky that I went to and live next to UCF, which is the second largest school in the country by enrollment. So like I'll always have girls who are interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
What's your mode of communication then? Sorry, Lawrence. What's your mode of communication then? A job just came up. How does the staff know about it?
So we have an app that I put all the jobs on, and then they like apply for the shift. There's no like application per se. They just say like, "Oh, I'm interested in doing it. I'm not," and then I go in. I pick who um, I want for that family based on the family's needs, or how many hours one person has over the other, just figuring all that stuff around. But then yeah, so they pick what they want to do, I approve it or I deny, and then they'll just look for another shift. And yeah, and then they have all the family's info right there, and then they go out. So once the family's booked, at that point the communication now goes on to the babysitter.
Very cool.
Nice.
Um,
Purple Pleasure in chat says, "Do you have any language challenges?"
We have had done families in the past. They've spoke a multitude of languages. We have two Spanish speaking nannies, but as that is the only other language besides English that we have girls who can fluently speak. But I have these little girls from France, and I love them so much. I don't know what they're saying like half the time, but just with um expressions and use of sign language, I know like simple sign language, or I will like ask them a question, I'll put it in Google Translate and then like read it out to them,
mm,
and then they'll respond, or if I don't know, I'll just ask mom and dad as well, and then they help me. So
wow.
mhm.
It's amazing to me that you have one video that you shared, and from that becomes an entire business with 56, did you say? 56
Mhm.
fairy god nannies. That's just absolutely amazing. um
Yes.
what what do you think the legacy of Once Upon a Nanny is going to be?
I think it is one that is really going to change the travel industry um a lot. I feel like a lot of the times when people think about travel, like they're picturing like, you know, a guy who with his shirt off, and then a girl in a bikini running on the beach, and it's just like this fictitious world as if no problems exist, or like outside world families and lives don't exist. They very much do, and I feel like childcare is a neglected space almost a little bit in that. So I think the legacy will be that there'll be more avenues. Maybe other people will start more companies, and all power to them because there's a lot of families that need help. So they'll start companies, and then we'll be able to service everyone, especially with knowing that the children are safe.
Right, right. Folks, if you're just joining us, we are speaking with Cyan Nardiello, who's the CEO of Once Upon a Nanny, which offers a great service when you're on your vacation. I was going to say in the parks, but it's not. It's all over. So yeah, really, when you're on your vacation, just an absolute great service. So if you have questions, put a Q in front of them and put them in chat. As we wrap up, we'll ask her some of your questions. So Doreen says, "Is there an age limit, and are the nannies only female?"
So the age limit, I'm not sure if she's talking about to be a nanny or to be or the age a child can come. So I'll answer both. For a nanny, you have to be at least 18 years old with 3 years at least of professional experience. Sometimes I hire people with like maybe 2 years or like one enough, but if they have a really good resume and reference point, I'm willing to work with that and I'll shadow them, give them some more time to learn until I feel super comfortable with them. And then, what was the last part of her question?
Um, are they only female?
I don't hire just females. I just haven't had a lot of um outreach by male nannies, but I'm
Mhm.
definitely not opposed to it. I think it'd be cool to have a manny. I think that'd be really fun. Like I've done teenage boys before and I try to be as relatable like as I can. I know like Riz and Skibbity Toilet, they love saying that. I try to be cool with that stuff, but they don't then I don't know. I feel like with a guy it'd be a lot more fun. So
I just learned Riz, but I didn't hear Skippity Toilet yet. I'm gonna use that one on my
so one of
kids.
the kids,
They usually
they were like, "You are so skibbity toilet," and I like texted the nannies group chat. I'm like, "Are they insulting me?" And they're like, "No, no, that means like you're cool. Like if you have skibbity toilet Riz, you're cool." And I was like, oh, "Okay, okay, I got skibbity toilet Riz."
yeah. Riz is a breakdown from the word charisma, I believe. You got charisma, you got Riz.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So Skibbity Toilet, there's actually a I don't know, it's a gift or something. I was gonna say a toy because it's sold in the toy department. But in Walmart, there's a Skibbity Toilet thing. I have no
Oh
idea.
my
Yeah, I asked my son one time and I still don't understand, so that's fine.
goodness.
Oh man. So excuse me. So how long have some of the fairy god nannies been with you?
Some have been with me since basically the beginning. I've had girls who have worked here for 4 years now, 3 years, 2 years, new hires. I'm very, very picky about who I hire.
Mm.
Not only do I need them to, obviously, number one concern is be a safe and efficient childcare provider, but I also need them to work well in our team because we have a very uplifting and positive environment and I would like never want to tarnish that. So just also making sure that they flow well with us as well is really important. But we've had girls who have been with here since the beginning, so that's also really cool because they have seen these families grow and grow. New babies get added, so we get to see new members of the family,
Ah,
and it's honestly so special.
that's awesome. Um,
Hmm.
okay, so for you, what's your favorite park to nanny in?
Mine, it's cliche, but it's Magic Kingdom. You can't beat the feeling of going to Magic Kingdom with a small child and seeing all of the magic that they're so immersed in at those ages. I have cried. I've shed a couple tears before, just with how excited they are, like when they're on a ride that they really like, or they meet a character. Um, and it's kind of like experiencing real time nostalgia in a way because I'm 26 years old. I started it when I was 21. So I'm close enough to my childhood to where I can remember those feelings. But then also far enough to like appreciate what those
Mm.
feelings had meant to me in the moment, but now as an adult. So it's like, it's just literally the cutest job ever. And the kids, they're so appreciative of us. And they like I know it sounds kind of bad, but oftentimes they cry when we leave because they're gonna miss us so much. Or we've had kids who they've had a babysitter since their very first trip. They know any different. So the connection that you make is so grand, and like what better place to do it than at the magical park of the Magic Kingdom.
True, true. You know, one thing for me, like Corey and I always talk about going to the parks with new people, right? He's live streaming from the parks. Somebody says, "Oh, I've never seen this ride." They're getting to experience that ride for the first time through his camera. I just took my youngest brother Alexander to Disney for the first time. He got to experience all the parks for the first time. Um, so there's something about that that's just magical, right? You're getting to do it quite often. So I could see how that just it gives you it I always love a job with that fulfills you, and it sounds like this truly does for you.
Yes, absolutely. And I think so many of my fairy god nannies would agree. I miss the kids, like sometimes we have them for like 5 days or a week, 8-hour days. Like we really do become integrated with them.
Hmm.
And I miss them dearly. I just can't wait for the next time that I'll get to see them.
Wow. Yeah, that that feeling is just great, and I can imagine them being with you. I'll wait to see if we're back. Then we can do this week in the parks.
Excellent. Let's see. We did Epcot, and then I did Magic the night on the Wednesday, right? Anything to really point out that night? I don't know if anything really sticks out. I was running solo. Just kind of a normal night with testing the new camera for the first time
Oh yeah.
in Magic.
All right, hold on.
We've hit all the.
Looks like we're back. Yes, we're back.
I might have to refresh. So I would say you might have to see where we ended off and add in a little bit of dialogue at the end
Yes.
to make
Yeah,
up for
sorry
that,
about that,
rather
folks.
than. All right, there we go. There we
Yeah,
are. Yes.
So that was Cyan Nardiello, great guest, the young CEO of Once Upon a Nanny, which is a great service, not only in the parks, but also for your vacation, which is amazing.
Yeah, very impressed. Very impressed by her.
Yeah.
Man, she's doing it. Sounds like she's doing everything the right way and more. So
Yeah,
super proud of her.
26. Like I said, at 26, I was working in a retail store. Can't tell you which one. Might have been service merchandise at that point, but I was not the CEO of a company with 56
No.
employees. That's amazing.
No, I didn't own my first, business. I've always been single employee,
Mhm.
sole proprietor.
Mhm.
My first sole proprietary, I don't know if that's a word, if you wanted to know, was probably maybe 25. No, 24. I was 24 when I opened up my massage business. So, and then then a few years later I went on to become a personal trainer as well. So, and currently I have 3 businesses according to the IRS,
Could you imagine?
which is this one as well.
Could you imagine being a a massage therapist with 56 other masseuse underneath you? Like she's running a huge business.
It would be nice. It would be nice. It would be probably the only business I could have at that point,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it would be nice for sure.
Boy, boy.
Dana Barrowline's in chat. I hope Dana watched that interview. Very impressive young lady, Dana.
Yeah.
I know Dana would be very impressed as well. So yeah, very good stuff. I don't need her. I was gonna, see if she could watch an 16-year-old. Then I would need her. But yeah, you guys were talking about how you got to use her so that we can do something in the parks together. Like, I've never gone around the parks with you guys without, without Finley there as well. So I don't think. I mean, maybe just
Um,
you, but not Catherine and you.
yeah, it was just me. But I feel like one of our maybe not. We may not have done an adult only trip when I knew you. So that could be. That could be.
Yeah.
All right. But the
Tammy
other
and I had just
thing,
start. Yeah. Go ahead.
we normally go to Disney for the 4th of July weekend or week, um, and the 4th of July is our anniversary. So having a service like that where, Finley could go off, while we go to dinner at Steakhouse 71 or, someplace nice to enjoy our anniversary, that would be a great service.
It really would be. Tammy and I are just starting to get a taste of what it's like to be
Mm,
together again.
yeah.
Now, the last couple times we were out on Saturdays without the kids, we turned off the camera and ran over to Disney Springs for an hour to capture a little time. It's just not something we put effort into ever because we just always wanted to be with the kids.
Right.
So they've been stuck to our hip since Jill was born. We haven't gone on a vacation. We really, like, Tammy and I haven't even gone to dinner by ourselves or a movie more than about 2 times or 3 times.
Hmm.
So, and now we're only breaking away from them because they want to break away from us.
Right.
So,
Right.
I spent all Sunday, going up to Jacob about every half hour. So I'm just over in the other room if you want to, like, hang out, want to do something. Could build a Lego, play a video game, maybe watch Spider-Man cartoons, whatever you want. Okay, Dad. And just that never happened
All of a
in the
sudden
same
it's
house.
11 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I was just looking because I believe that I found her on Instagram. So I'm going to keep looking to see if I find that for everybody who's asking in chat. In the
Okay.
meantime, why don't we talk about inside the parks and what we what we did in the parks.
We did do it together.
We did. Wednesday we did. Saturday we didn't. Um,
Oh, that's true. I was solo
yeah.
in a sense.
It was weird. It was weird. I'm not going to play the intro though, so you go ahead and talk about it.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, help me out on Wednesday. I don't know if there's anything that happened that's worth mentioning besides what a great night it was. I always talk about the different dynamics. When I'm with friends,
Hmm.
we do a great stream. It just goes a different way. When I'm alone, it goes a different way, and when I'm with family, it goes a different way. So I was in my zone on Wednesday night, and the energy definitely picks up. I can weave in and out of people, and I'm just able to engage in the chat more and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So we did a lot of that. It was really different. I just couldn't understand what was happening in the park that night at Magic Kingdom because how does Haunted Mansion hang at 13 minutes all night? All night. From the time I passed it at, who knows, we'll say 7 o'clock to close.
And
I
it's
mean,
not
I was on a mission. Go ahead.
it's not like it was a light night, but for some reason Haunted was 13 minutes all night. That was weird.
And I don't think it like went down or anything, which threw it off because people would eventually make their way back.
Yeah.
We were on a crunch time mission. I think with 45 minutes to go, I said, hey, let's do 3 rides or whatever. Haunted Mansion wasn't even thought of because we did it and totally expected it not to be 13 minutes again. But I believe we left. Did we leave Small World at that point? And I was heading to maybe Pirates. I know I was heading the Pirates direction.
Mhm.
I was heading down
Maybe.
somewhere, and I know we had People Mover that we were trying to make, and looked over quick and did a double take. I'm like, 13 minutes. If we have a chance to do Haunted Mansion twice on a weeknight, we're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're doing it. And with the new equipment, it tested out well. No problems.
Mhm.
No problems in Haunted Mansion. Like, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah.
So for me, the ride was more enjoyable too. I think, from your end, from my end, it looked like it didn't lag at all. If it did, maybe it was a couple seconds, but my signal was good the entire time, and I was
Yeah, a
thrilled
couple.
about that.
Yeah, just a couple seconds, much shorter than the normal. And if I remember correctly, I think you went by Hatbox Ghost with no issue. So that is a
Yes.
win. That is a win for
That
sure. So
because that's always a place where I have to refresh over there.
yes, yes,
And it's one of the greater spots that I want to enjoy, and I miss it sometimes because of the fact that I'm trying to refresh.
yep, yep. Um, I will say the new equipment. So you started out Wednesday night and went straight into Happily Ever After. And
Yes,
that's where the new equipment really showed off. Getting a better signal, which is great, but I think the sharpness, um, and I said this when you first used it at Hollywood Studios. I said, I think the biggest difference is going to be in the zoom. And you were zooming into the castle, zooming into the projections on Main Street, and they were crystal clear. So I love that. And then I think the colors really popped, just like they did in Phantasmic.
that's great, and I think it's just giving the people what they want. I think when I like to think that nobody does nighttime spectaculars like we do
Hmm.
at Living in Diz. I mean, they get a wide shot, they stick with it, and who knows? Maybe they walk away from the camera. I don't know. But I want to give my interpretation of it for the better enjoyment of the audience.
Yeah.
They don't get to see projections like that on most streams. So I like to bring up the more important points
Hmm.
of that. I don't like to sacrifice fireworks too much, so I can always zoom in when things are calm in the sky. But there's also some really cool moments that I think are worth seeing, like when there's that big close up in the finale piece from Moana, um, Hunchback of Notre Dame, ringing the bell, things like that. When the what do you call them, the floating go up with Rapunzel, to
Oh,
follow
yeah.
that last one up all the way, the last turret or whatever
Yep.
is really good stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
so we'll keep doing that.
I love it. And then you were solo because I was at Finley's birthday party on Saturday, so you had the floor all to yourself there.
I did. Technical and very, very well from what I can remember. I had to do what Lawrence and I call a hard reset. It was
Hmm.
just like freezing. Like we were just, it was like there was no action in the app. And I was like, this is really strange. So a little concerning towards the end of that, but hopefully next time out it'll be fine because it has been.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just something going on that night. Maybe I'll do a reset of the phone just to make sure.
Yeah.
But lots of fun. Lots of fun at Epcot. Our last day at Festival of the Arts. I'm gonna say that a lot of times it really is the same art pretty much year after year. We didn't really hit a lot of art tents over the span of this particular
And you were there quite a bit.
yeah, there was, like, something else happening. Oh, we'll get more to it. So, I think we didn't show as much art, but I'm okay with it because it's kinda funny. We focused a lot on food.
Yeah.
We really did, and I think we only showed 1 show, but, just focused on the food a lot.
Well, and
So
this is a shorter festival. I guess holidays is probably shorter than this one, and then this one is second shortest, I think. Um, but Flower
yeah.
and Garden is right around the corner. In fact, the food
It is.
guide came out today.
Oh, the food
Hmm.
guide is out. Oh, boy. So, we are going to be there on opening night of, um, of Flower and Garden.
Oh,
So, it'll be Epcot,
well, that's breaking
a
news.
week from tomorrow. Yeah, it is. It is. So, we're doing that. Uh, Great. So, we can preview this next week and then lead right into
Yep.
the live stream at Epcot the next night.
Thank you,
Yep.
How great is that? And I just updated in the app the Flower and Garden menu. Oh, boy. I love this stuff. I'm chomping at the bit. Oh, I'm just like flipping through some of this. We'll have to. Ooh, doggy. All right. I mean, we just attacked a ton of stuff. It's time
Right.
to attack some more. Can't wait to
Yep.
look. Can't wait to look at that. So we'll preview that on the next podcast, everyone. So reeling it back to Epcot, didn't look at a ton of art, but we were just on another food mission. We got to visit with Court on Main Street, and her husband Garrett. Really nice people. We had a great time with them. Kind of went around and grabbed some things we didn't grab before food wise, and also grabbed some favorites. So the beef Wellington was amazed. I gave that a 5 out of 5 Mickeys. The Dole Whip flight, don't remember what we gave it, but it was fun. The fun factor, I'd give it a 4. It was fun to throw different toppings on it, like the baby Starbursts and the blown up Skittles and the lifesavers, and try the different flavors. So we just kind of played with our food and exchanged our thoughts on what good combinations. It was like, okay, let me put this watermelon Starburst in the lime Dole Whip, and try that. And that was good. That was a very good combo. We had the panada. Did I say that right? The empanada.
Empanada.
Very good. That's a 5 out of 5. I always think of the time we had those with you and crew, and
Yeah.
we didn't buy enough and all that good stuff. That was a good time.
Yeah, the
And,
empanadas are good. There's something
we
from
did.
every festival that just sticks out to me, right? My Black Forest cake in Germany is a winner for me for this festival that just ended. The empanadas. If we get there for Flower and Garden, I'm sure Catherine's going to want the chicken and waffles because she really liked that from Honey Tro. But there was always something new, but there's always those staples too. And I was looking over the foodie guide for Flower and Garden, and it looks like there's going to be some new ones, and the staples, the good staples are back. So excited. But I really want to see what they do with Communicore Hall this time.
Do we need predictions? What does everybody think in chat? What do you think we'll see in Communicore Hall? Recently, we saw the amazing display of Broadway costumes. And then prior to that was the Spaceship Earth made up of gingerbread.
That's right, gingerbread. Yeah.
So
it's gonna be interesting. They've kind of given a little bit of a clue to it, but not a ton. So I think we're gonna excuse me. I think we're gonna be surprised. I think we're gonna be surprised by what they came up with.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's gonna have to do with plants, though.
Yes.
Will they serve food in there this time? I say yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I don't think the display would be as big as it was for Festival of the Arts. So they could use, we know they have that whole wall that opens up, so they could certainly do that. But yeah, we're going to preview all of that on next week's show, and then Corey said he's going to opening night, that's going to be great, and then we will do a recap on the following week's show, and then we've got Aaron from Magical Horizons joining us. Our friend Brian Blackmore will be coming back, and we have a couple of the guests that we've lined up in the coming weeks leading up to our 100th episode, which is going to be really, really good. I'm already starting to put stuff together for that for sure. So
I love that. And we also are unveiling a brand new song from Beach Fox Life, who granted us an end credits song. I was very impressed by the lyrics. It's so fitting for what we do, and he was gracious enough to let us have it. So that will debut tomorrow night. I watched it today, and it looks great.
Thank you. I have I have it all set for tomorrow night. I tested it here in the studio, and then I also played it in the car just to make sure that it rocks. And it's good.
It does.
It's good. Like you said, the lyrics are very fitting. Music is great. I think it's a great ending song. And what what other live stream out there has a pre-show, a post-show, a theme song, credits, graphics? It's incredible what's happening here. So don't go anywhere.
Absolutely. Let's see. Have we said it all and done it all?
Yep. Another great guest joining us tonight, Cyan Nardiello. You can find her on Instagram. I searched Once Upon a Nanny and it came up, but her handle is Theme Park Nanny. So either one will come up, Theme Park Nanny or Once Upon a Nanny will come up, and you can find out more about her. I will say we are not the first people to interview her. She actually was interviewed by Hoda and Jenna on the Today Show. Just so
really?
You know.
Well,
yeah.
She saved the best for last. She
There
saved
you
the
go.
best for last. That's amazing. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, 26 folks.
Good for her.
I love to see it. Love to see it. It's great. And you bump into her in the parks now.
Yeah, I'll know who she is at this point. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we've crossed paths before and we didn't even know it.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Could be. Let's give a shout out to Victor. If you're looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard, Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate LLC, and he is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 15 years of experience in the Disney area home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So what are you waiting for? Visit celebratingflorida.com today to learn more about Victor's exclusive range of properties and schedule a viewing with Victor. Your dream home is just a click away. And as usual, good job on Sunday sharing the for Victor. And I know he very much appreciates it.
Yeah, I had to tell Victor he was not only on YouTube, but Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Twitch, and TikTok.
His glasses must have blown off his face when you told him that.
No, he was most excited. He figured out that his iPhone can do the emojis. You know, if you do the heart, it'll have the hearts. If you do thumbs up, it'll do fireworks.
Oh,
he found that out, and that made his whole day. So, so that was great. That was great. So
Steve wants to know if I've gotten a lot of feedback from the. Okay, Steve. Before we go, Steve wanted to know if we've gotten a lot of feedback on the LID documentary. In the industry, yes. In the filmmaking business, yes, and it's been tremendous. So it's not dead yet. It's not just sitting on the channel and waiting. There are things that are in the works for it. So look for some announcements if they happen for us to land some film festivals, and it might land on Tubi. Where I got to get in touch with Jason and see if he's on that, because that's something we discussed. So it could still end up on that streaming service. So those are the plans for the LID documentary right now. And the cool thing about this, and I was told this by someone in the industry, is that it's still not dead for the primary streaming services, including Disney Plus, because they literally send scouts out to these film festivals, and that's how they get some of their content. So Disney might see it and say, you know what, that would be good for Disney Plus. So it's not dead yet.
All right, we're gonna keep an eye on it, but in the meantime, it is on the channel. If you want to go back and watch it, absolutely do. It is a great watch. I've watched it a few times. Make sure you have your tissue box nearby, though. Is it?
Yes, for sure.
Know, very much like life. There are highs and lows, and the movie captures them very well.
And tomorrow night, if you're watching live right now, tomorrow night we are live in Hollywood Studios. So get to enjoy the park for a few hours there, and we will check out Fantasmic in beautiful, crispy 4K. And then stay tuned for the post-show, as well as our brand new debut song for the credits. And really listen to the lyrics, because they're amazed is.
I thought you were in Magic tomorrow.
Just flipped it Just flipped it. It is originally scheduled for Hollywood, so we're
Okay.
going to keep it that way.
Okay.
I'm messing you up, huh?
That's all right. I'll figure out a post show. No, a lot of the.
Well, you know what though? Whatever you had planned, you save it for Saturday.
That's right. That's right. So no, that's the great thing about using Attractions Magazine. There's plenty in that library that we can use. So it'll still work. Love it.
And if there's ever anything that any of you want to see on any of our post shows, nostalgic wise, or something that's currently in another country or whatever, just hey, let us know at livingindiz.com. Do we still have that, right? No, at Gmail. livingindiz@gmail.com, or the DizPod, right?
Yep.
Do I get the DizPod email? Yeah.
You do. Yeah. So you can let us know, livingindiz@gmail.com or the DizPod@gmail.com, and we will try to accommodate. All right.
Sounds
folks.
amazed, Diz.
We appreciate you all being here. Thank you for watching.
So much. And for now, we're just a couple of bros talking Disney. We love you all. We'll see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night, everybody. I actually don't know if the show's going to close out, folks. You might be stuck with us the whole night.
Where the magic's here to stay.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it is fun, that's for sure.